You're now the attorney in fact for the state name.
No, sir, Mr. Thompson. You know I don't put up with any of that. You understand?
Right.
Listen to me.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You understand I'm not going to put up with that.
Yes, sir.
Not anything like that. You understand? Do you understand me?
Yes.
There's not going to be any private citizen, sovereign citizen, any of that. You understand?
Yes, sir.
From the very first second, Judge Clark commands attention. You instantly see why this courtroom doesn't tolerate nonsense. His direct, no-fluff approach to so-called sovereign citizens sets the stage for tension, intrigue, and just the right amount of chaos. You know immediately this is not a place for games, and every word from the bench carries weight.
Affidavit of violation of probation. He filed a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense. I've denied most of it. I'm going to probably deny the rest of it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely.
I got some education to go, huh?
Sir?
So I've got some education to go.
Yes, sir. You're here today by, you got a new law violation of driving my license suspended or revoked. You don't want to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
But that's the thing is, I've never even been pulled over. I don't know how I got a license or a warrant or anything. I haven't been pulled over in more than a year. Any emergency contact. I went to go pick up a records request and they gave me a warrant instead of the records.
Do y'all know anything about this?
As to the new law.
Do you have a driver's license?
No, sir.
Don't answer that. I shouldn't ask that question.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Strike that from the record. I won't do that if you won't do any other mess. I won't.
The probation violation case demonstrates how high stakes can be even in seemingly mundane hearings. The defendant might be walking on thin ice, yet Judge Clark carefully balances justice with discretion. The suspense is palpable as viewers wait to see whether he'll impose jail or allow the county court to decide. Every exchange is loaded with tension and authority.
But you transfer that to.
Just filed. I just filed in the court file.
I tried to, and they wouldn't accept it.
All right. Was he arrested? Is there a new arrest for driving license suspended or revoked? State?
Yes, there was a bench warrant issued on 1/23/24 that executed 1/29/24.
Said I was just doing a records request and had an agreed upon date to pick it up. Went up there to pick it up and gave me a warrant. So the records are requested.
I tell you what, I'm gonna let y'all
Return
do
that?
that. Listen, I'm gonna leave him on probation. I'm gonna set this for preliminary on April. What's that April date?
April 17th.
April 17th. I'm gonna let him take care of that in county court and see what happens. Okay.
Thank you.
And I think that's the only violation he had.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing what you're doing on this, and then we'll see you back in April, and you can take care of that in county court. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
When a sovereign citizen refuses to identify himself, the courtroom instantly tightens. Judge Clark's sharp response cuts through confusion and lays down the law, creating a short but explosive moment. The tension is so immediate it feels almost cinematic, showing viewers how a simple refusal can escalate into high-stakes consequences.
I don't accept any of that. If you want to state your name, state your name. If you don't, that's fine.
I'm Cedric Alexander, the beneficiary, sir.
No, sir, I don't. The beneficiary doesn't mean anything to me. Says, are you Cedric Alexander?
I'm a human being, Cedric Alexander, not the corporation.
What be hell with that?
I'm a human being, not a fictitious entity.
On your first appearance, I'm going to appoint the office of public defender. You've got a failure to appear on a misdemeanors. I have ordered to be held without bond on that. I'm going to leave that as it is. You got a possession of methamphetamine and see, that might be all the same thing. Yeah. You just got a failure to appear.
The officer didn't even come and do deposition because it's a lie.
You got to drive my license suspended or revoked. I'm gonna find there's probable cause. I'm gonna set. That's a third degree felony, punished for 5 years. Florida Department of Corrections. I am going to set a $5,000 bond. I'll see you March 11th at 9 o'clock. Good luck.
Here, the probable cause hearing begins, and the stakes escalate as the officer details the traffic stop. The smell of marijuana, the discovery of drugs, and a tense vehicle search all build suspense. Every moment feels critical, as the courtroom carefully pieces together evidence, leaving viewers on edge and fully immersed in the unfolding drama.
You're representing yourself. At any point in time, you can ask an attorney to be appointed to represent you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. You can call your first witness.
Your Honor, the state calls Officer Zip. Richard Zip.
All right. Just swear the witness in.
I do.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Richard Ziff,
Were you employed?
Panama City Police Department.
Were you working in November of 2023?
I was.
On November 11th, 2023, did you have occasion to come in contact with defendant Josiah Beecham?
I was.
How did you come in contact with him?
It was an investigative stop. Mr. Beecham's vehicle was having a hard time maintaining its lane. I conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle. Vehicle drove over the curb. Immediately when I stopped the vehicle, I can smell marijuana coming from within the vehicle while still sitting inside my own vehicle. As I got closer to the vehicle, I can smell the marijuana getting stronger. When I made contact with Mr. Beecham in the driver's seat, I informed him the nature of the stop, also told him I smelled marijuana in the vehicle. At that point, Mr. Beecham was saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida, making other statements that he was.
The discovery of a firearm under the driver's seat adds an instant jolt of tension. The defendant's refusal to cooperate elevates the stakes, making this segment a gripping showcase of courtroom dynamics. Viewers are left with a sense of urgency and anticipation as Judge Clark navigates the complexities of law, procedure, and a highly uncooperative defendant.
I asked him to identify himself. He refused to identify himself. He began to call 911 and requested a Bay County deputy respond to the scene because he refused to cooperate with me.
Officer Zip, at some point, based on the smell of marijuana, did you search the vehicle and Mr. Beecham's person?
I did.
During that search, did you locate anything of note, of significance?
We found trafficking amounts of controlled substances. I believe we were, one of them tested positive for cocaine. There was marijuana and we believe fentanyl.
Did you find any firearms during the search?
There was a firearm located underneath the driver's seat that Mr. Beecham was sitting on.
The back and forth over drugs and probable cause transforms this part into a tense chess match. Every question and objection builds suspense as the courtroom teeters between procedural order and potential chaos. The sharp exchanges highlight both the high stakes for the defendant and Judge Clark's expert command over the proceedings.
Mr. Beecham,
We did.
did you find out whether he had been previously convicted of any felonies?
He was on inmate release status for a felony. I believe the same charges.
No, that's all my questions at this time.
Mr. Beecham, any questions?
Yes. So did I have a passenger in the car with me at the time?
You did.
Upon you saying you smelled the smell of marijuana, did I say that I smoked hemp?
You did admit to it.
I said I smoked hemp, right?
You said you smoked marijuana.
Sir, did you have on a body cam?
I did.
And okay, thank you, Your Honor. So I said, so your body cam was on at the time, and did you get any competent basis on the traffic stop as far as like a recording of that video?
I don't have a dash cam.
You don't have a dash cam in your car?
We don't have dash cams in Panama State Police
Okay.
cars.
It's cool. And that was failing to maintain the lane. Okay, was it any other traffic on the road?
You were the only vehicle.
Okay, and how long were you behind me before you actually pulled me over?
I was behind you about 2 blocks, watched you drift over the center line several times.
Several times, drift off the line. Did you have to catch up to me? Your Honor, I have a dash cam and rear view cam. I'm probably gonna introduce the, what you call it. Did you actually have to catch up to my vehicle, or?
I did not have to catch up that much. I was right behind you.
I'm saying that the stretch of the road was, we was traveling on Beach Drive, that's right?
Yes.
And you were behind me the entire stretch of Beach Drive?
No, I was behind you by Balboa.
By Balboa is when you got behind me. Okay, and so when did you notify me or the passenger about any of the drugs or gun?
Immediately.
Immediately? And what was said about the drugs or gun? What did the passenger say?
The gun was found after you were already detained. We searched the vehicle and it was underneath your seat.
Okay, and Was the vehicle registered to me?
Vehicle was registered to your girlfriend.
Okay. And so, where were the drugs or anything found in the vehicle?
You had drugs in your pocket. And there was also drugs in the back seat behind your seat.
And you found the drugs?
I found a bag of white substance in your right front pocket.
What about any vehicles in the car?
There was a bag in behind the driver's seat that had several other bags that were wrapped in a clear plastic baggies that was behind your seat.
Okay, and so what did you question the passenger on?
That would be my partners who questioned the passenger. I questioned you.
Yes, and what did I admit to any of the drugs?
You refused to talk to me other than saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida.
Exactly. And so you notified me on drugs being found in the car on the scene, you're saying?
Everything was notified to you. I tried reading you implied consent. You refused to actually listen to me. You kept on saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida and you.
Yeah, I was saying you was violating the constitutional rights as well of unreasonable search and seizure.
The trial opens with a heated debate over an illegal tag, immediately establishing conflict. The defense makes a valiant effort, but the judge's firm stance ensures no loopholes are exploited. This part captivates because it's about more than legality. It's a clash of ideology versus authority, keeping viewers engaged and eager for the next twist.
All embodied came up.
Okay. And so you never had a conversation with the passenger?
I was mostly talking to you and searching the vehicle. I believe my sergeants wanted to talk to Mr. Wheeler.
Okay, and so you're saying your passengers, your other one of your partners found the drugs that was actually in the car?
I found drugs in the vehicle.
Oh, you found the drugs in the vehicle?
Yes.
Behind the driver's seat, you're saying?
And the objection. Ask your next question.
Okay. And you did already admit that I said I admitted to smoking hemp. Okay. And your vehicle is not you say they don't got dash cams. Okay. So at the time, did you have a sight on the passenger and the driver at the whole time?
I was right there behind the A pillar or B pillar.
What was that, sir?
I was there the entire time talking to you.
No, okay. So when you extracted me out the car, did you have eyes on the passenger at that time?
After I removed you from the car, I did not have eyes on the passenger, just you.
Okay, cool. And so in your report, you never wrote a ticket for the failing to maintain lanes, nor did you mention it in your affidavit of complaint.
It's going to be in my report, the narrative on the case.
Well, this was the probable cause, and this was the immediate review. So is it
Sustained. Ask a question.
okay? Is it a reason why you didn't mention it in your affidavit of complaint?
The affidavit only shows PC for why we arrested you. It doesn't state in there why I had to stop you. It just shows in there why I arrested you. And in regards to you maintaining a lane, that goes back to the DUI, which does not go on the complaint. That goes on the traffic ticket.
Well, you never mentioned anything of that nature in the ticket. So I was just wondering, is that protocol for you not to explain in the affidavit of complaint?
It's going to be in the report.
Okay, and you say you had a body camera on again, that's correct?
Sustain the objection. Ask your next question.
Okay, and so was it possible for any of the drugs to be the passenger?
It was all in your control. It was within your reach, behind your seat, and then you had drugs in your right front pocket.
I said, was it possible to be the passengers?
It could be possible, but the same drug that was in your right front pocket was also in that bag behind your seat.
What drug was in my right front pocket?
Cocaine.
And about how much was that?
You had a bag that was wrapped in your front pocket.
About how much?
I don't have the numbers on me right now. I have my report in front of me.
Okay. This is a copy of your report. You know,
That's actually not my report. That's the affidavit complaint. My report's about 5 pages long.
okay. And so you seized the vehicle for failing to maintain a lane. You said, was any other traffic affected by the occurrence?
You were the only one on the road. You had a failure to maintain your lane several times and you drove over the curb.
What curve, actually?
The curb I stopped you at, I believe it was on Fairland.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I don't have any more questions.
Okay, is there any redirect from the state?
No, Your Honor.
And the witness be
Yes,
excused.
Your Honor.
So you can go about your day.
Either.
Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Beecham?
Your Honor, there's no actual competent and substantial evidence in the affidavit of complaint, nor was it any ticket issued for the actual, failing to maintain a lane. So, I mean, being that it was immediately after the arrest, I don't see how he had probable cause to stop me. And I actually asked him for, the sheriffs to verify that, hoping that he had a dash cam in his car.
Mr. Sullivan?
Whether a traffic ticket was issued or not is irrelevant.
Yeah, it was.
I have going to find there's probable cause for the arrest, and I believe that's what I'm here today to do as far as the adversarial preliminary hearing. So I found there's probable cause. We'll need another court hearing.
Do we have this transcribed?
You can file a motion to have it transcribed, yes, sir. We need to set another hearing. You understand, Mr. Beecham, at any point in time that you ask for an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you meet the financial requirements. You want to set up for another pretrial? Beecham?
Yes,
Let's set it for April 18th at
The motion in limine delivers one of the sharpest legal blows in the courtroom. Sovereign citizen defenses are dismissed with precise authority, leaving no room for argument. The tension peaks here, as viewers see firsthand how the law decisively shuts down frivolous claims, making this segment both educational and suspenseful.
Florida versus Lee, Forson Baker, case number 23 CF 3817. Mr. Baker's present in the courtroom, appropriately dressed, with Mr. Meredith and Mr. Paul, State Attorney Mr. Pereira, and Mr. Sullivan are also present. Deputy Dexter, we have all the jurors present.
They are present. They are. We had two that were in the restroom, and they'll be brought upstairs.
All right, very good. All right, anything we need to take up prior to bringing the jurors in?
Yes, Your Honor. After meeting with Mr. Baker yesterday, he expressed an interest in representing himself today again. So I don't know if he wants to. I'm not sure whether he wants to represent himself or not, because the state is, the second thing I would address is the state has filed a motion in limine that we object to. Depending on the ruling there, I'm not sure if that will affect Mr. Baker's decision.
All right, well, let's take up the motion in limine right now. It's the motion in limine. Mr. Pereira, you filed it?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is moving, Your Honor, to exclude testimony of two things. First is testimony of the legality of his license plate, or any sort. My understanding is that Mr. Meredith intended to elicit testimony about the origin of the license plate. We feel that the probable cause is enough already with the rolling stop, that it would be irrelevant. The defendant is no longer in charge with any type of traffic offense. They're not legal defenses to the charge that he's brought with fleeing to, eluding, in the possession of drugs.
Your Honor, the state intends to introduce some body cam from Officer Elkins as in relation to the original stop. And Mr. Baker has his hands out of the window and is talking to the officer about what the reason for the stop is. There is a tag that's on there, In the edited version of the body cam, it is mentioned that the two reasons for the stop were rolling through a stop sign and either, I can't remember if it was bad tag or no tag or whatever. But I think that it's important for the jury to understand that the origin of this tag and what it represented. I, as an officer of the court and under the rules of the bar, I don't believe I could argue that it is a valid tag, but I think the origin of it is important for the.
What, it's not a valid tag. What does it matter what origin or the origin of this?
Well,
I'm not going down that road, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Baker felt that it was a legal tag.
Was it issued from the Department of Motor Vehicles from the state of Florida
It was
or
not.
the tax collector's office? It's not a legal tag.
If you'd like to see a photocopy of what it is.
My tag is from the DOT. It's a DOT number because my tag belongs to my trust. My DOT number is valid. So why wouldn't the tag be?
Nope, not going in. We're not going to talk about it.
Can I put anything on the record?
You can put it on the record, but I'm telling you, I'm not, anything that's not a legal tag from the state of, from one of the states of the United States, or I guess.
It is. You got the information yesterday. He emailed you the information where the tag came from and what was going on with the tag.
Your Honor,
I can't have a custom tag.
Let Mr. Meredith make your argument, sir, please.
Your Honor, the number that's contained on the tag, the 412-5492, is a Department of Transportation number that is assigned to Mr. Baker. I have gone on their website. You can search that number, and when you do, it comes up with Mr. Baker's name, his address, and all his information. Now, depending on what we're allowed to do, his testimony would be as to how he had obtained this and had gone through and got it from a third party in New Jersey. And because it had the Department of Transportation logo, which is the actual logo from the Department of Transportation, and it had his actual identifying number from the United States Department of Transportation, that he could display it.
Is it a legal valid tag? Can you make that argument?
Yes.
I cannot.
Okay, it's not coming in.
When you run the tag number,
It's not coming in, it's not on the record, and also the state's not charged him with a improper tag.
Exactly. I don't even have a ticket for anything.
The defendant's mindset becomes the focal point, with the jury needing to understand his reasoning. It's tense because it's abstract yet crucial, the clash of personal ideology versus legal reality. This segment is gripping as it blends psychological insight with courtroom procedure, keeping viewers glued to every word and gesture.
Anything else on that, Mr. Mayor?
I think that's paragraph 1, but there's a second paragraph.
Right.
You know, there's a second paragraph on there. The state is looking to exclude any testimony in terms of defenses related to the defendant's status as a sovereign and or a private citizen. I like to point the court to controlling authority in Barber versus Bay County Sheriff's Office jail facility. For the record, the site of that is 308 3rd Southern. It starts on page 254. I like to quote from this case, Your Honor, that says the sovereign citizen theory has no basis in the law, and parties that make it are in danger of court sanctions. And to our knowledge, no court in this country has ever found sovereign citizens to have any merit. They're relying on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals decision in the United States versus Beneby. For the record, that's 654, 3rd Federal 753, where it talks about where it's just not specifically about sovereign citizens, but encapsulates all of the arguments there. So regardless of an individual's claimed status of descent, be it as a sovereign citizen, a secured party creditor, or a flesh and blood human being, that person is not beyond the jurisdiction, and the court is correct in rejecting all of those claims. However, They are presented and they should be rejected summarily.
Mr. Barrett, your response? We're not raising it as a defense, but I believe that Mr. Baker testifies for the jury to understand what was in his mind on October 7th of this past year. They need to understand his ideology, his understanding of what he was required to do and how he could live his life. It's not, again, I cannot raise it to a defense, but I think we need to talk about what he felt in his mind.
If it's not a defense, why is it relevant?
For the jury to understand what was going on in his mind during the stop and
Well, proper what you think the testimony might be.
It goes back partially to the tag, but he had thought he had registered the tag properly through the United States Department of Transportation.
Mr. Baker, that's enough.
He had a license that wasn't from the state of Florida. It was international license, but his license was suspended in the state of Florida. But when he was stopped, again, he was trying to ask the officer what was the purpose for the stop. The officer, immediately upon exiting his vehicle, prior to any fleeing, unholstered his service weapon, pointed it at the defendant, and began yelling at him to turn the car off. And after 30 to 40 seconds, fearing for his life, Mr. Baker left.
What does that have to do with being a private citizen or a sovereign citizen or anything like that?
In his mind, the basis of the state is now going forward on as they roll through a stop sign, which we dispute. But he does not think that he did not stop, and he was trying to ask the reason for the stop, and he didn't get any answer. He just got a gun being pointed at him with an aggressive officer.
I mean, I understand all that, and I think all that may be relevant to that. I mean, you make a, but what about a private citizen or a sovereign citizen? What does that have any relevance?
Well, he doesn't consider himself a sovereign citizen.
A private citizen.
It's just his mindset as to why he would act in the manner that he did, and the subsequent actions that he took to get out of what he perceived as danger.
But I understand that. I mean, I don't know that that's not irrelevant. I mean, I don't know that I say that might be relevant. But what about the private citizen and that's the issue right now, according to the state.
If we couch it in terms of his fear, without saying sovereign citizen, private citizen, I think that's fair.
Is there any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
I mean, if he testifies that the gun was pulled and he was in fear, I mean, that would, I don't know why the jury couldn't consider that, but as far as a private citizen or anything else.
The climax hits when the officer draws his weapon during a traffic stop. The suspense is at its peak as danger, authority, and procedure collide. This segment is cinematic in its intensity, showcasing Judge Clark's courtroom as a stage where every action has consequence, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.